What's going on, guys? Auzio here and welcome back to a brand new video. So today we have the team of the season midfielder tier list, and there's some quality players in here that will most likely go into the S tier, but there is some players that might actually go into D tier or even the C tier, which, you know, is not going to be outstanding because the difference between S and D, it's quite big. Now we are going to start off with Luis Alberto. Now Luis Alberto, for me, he's not really a centre mid or CDM. He can play there slightly, but he's a cam. And the fact that a cam is like, I believe he's 6'2", is just ridiculous. I would not advise anyone to use a 6'2" cam. And yeah, his stats do look insane. I do agree. But if I'm being real with you guys, there's some quality players that are much better than him. Now, next up, we do have Anselmo. Now, Anselmo, for me, is an absolute brick wall. I called this guy the Brazilian Vieira. That's how good he was. The fact that he can put in a tackle, he's got the physical stats, he's got a bit of pace to him. I must admit, he is going to go into the B section. Next up, we do have Alwa. Now, Alwa, for me, what a player. What a player. How good he feels on the ball. His dribbling stats, his pace. Yeah, he can play in the centre mid position if you really want him to, but I definitely would not advise him there because it's a bit wasted. I believe he is a cam, and that's it. So he is going to go into the A tier. Next up, we do have Augusto. Now, this card, a lot of people slept on this card, I must say. There's some people that actually I still see to this very day have this card, but a lot of people slept on him. He can put in a tackle, he can shoot, he can pass, he can dribble, he can do everything. And that is the reason why he is going to go into the B tier. I don't believe he is a outstanding CDM, but the fact that he can do everything is always going to be a bonus. Next up, we do have Brandt. Now, Brandt, for me, he was outstanding. I believe he was in the community team of the season, if I remember correctly. Or maybe, no, I'm pretty sure it was community. It wasn't Bundesliga. Now, he's a good player. He was. At the time, he was. But since then, there have been absolutely amazing cards that have came out. And can I really put him into the B tier? No. I am going to put him into the C tier, though. I'm not going to disrespect him too much because I believe he's still usable. But, you know, he's not going to be one of those players that take you to the next rank in foot champs. Next up, we do have Casemiro. Now, Casemiro, for me, is an absolute brick wall. He is. But the problem with Casemiro is he's never going to feel nice on the ball. And his pace is such a letdown. Especially in that CDM position. Yeah, he can put in a tackle. Yeah, he can body people. But the problem is, he's going to miss out on a lot because his transitioning from left to right is not great. So Casemiro is going to go into the D section. Next up, we do have Santi Cazorla. Now, a lot of people actually do like this card. I like it a bit. I don't like it to the extent that I love it. But there is some situations where, yeah, Santi Cazorla is top tier. But in other situations, he does get into a lot of, you know, like contact-to-contact animations because he does have that bulky body in game. And it's always going to be annoying. So Santi Cazorla, for me personally, I don't want to put him down here because I feel like he's not that bad. I'm going to put him into C tier. I might change that later, though. Next up, we do have Cuttino, and still to this very day, I do have this card. He's an outstanding card. 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. Feels amazing on the ball. Pace, shooting, dribbling, passing. Everything is there. Yeah, he doesn't have the physical stats, but common now. He's still up there with the best. Next up, we do have Van de Beek, and this guy is actually linked to Manchester United. So, you know, hopefully we do see him there because he's a quality player in real life. And I believe he was the most underrated one that actually, you know, stayed at Ajax. I believe he should have left Ajax already, saying that Ziyech is leaving, you know, De Jong left, De Ligt left, and Van de Beek is still there. Surely Manchester United have to pick him up. But if we're talking about in-game, 6 foot is always going to be nice. He's got amazing stats going forward and backward, and he can put in a really good tackle. So I am going to put him into the B tier. I don't believe this card is like deserves the A tier. He does not feel amazing in-game. So that is the problem. Next up, we do have Kevin De Bruyne. Now, if anyone hasn't gone to see that hasn't seen the, what do you call it, foot champ reward video, you guys need to go see it. The link will be in the description. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one out. Saying that I'm talking about De Bruyne, you already know who we packed. But either way, Kevin De Bruyne is going to go into the S tier. I personally believe, well, I'm starting to think that he is actually the best midfielder in this game. How good he feels on the ball is just out of this world. And people do say he is better than Hullet. And to say that, you must have some balls, I must admit. But come on now. Kevin De Bruyne, he's definitely up there. S tier for De Jong, without a doubt. He's the team of the year. Is exactly the same rating, I do believe. Or one rating below, I can't really remember. But either way, both of them will go in the S tier. Next up, we do have Dembele. Now, Dembele puts in a really, really good tackle. And I love it. He doesn't feel amazing on the ball, which was a bit of a letdown. But how good he can like pass a ball, put in a tackle. His pace is really nice as well. He definitely deserves the B tier. Next up, we do have Fekir. Now, Fekir with all the shooting traits, the finesse shot, the outside foot shot, and the chip shot, he definitely is going to go into the B tier. I don't believe he deserves it in the A tier because his body type in-game is not great, and he doesn't feel amazing on the ball, but he can definitely shoot the ball. Now, next up, we do have Fernandinho. This card was released in, I believe it was the community team of the season as well. Now, this card was really nice when it came out, I must admit. He put in a really good tackle. Everyone loved this card, but some people started to realise more of these team of the seasons were coming out. Fernandinho really wasn't the one because of his pace. But he is a really good player. Doesn't feel outstanding on the ball, even though he's, his card looks pretty decent. But he can put in a tackle, that is something I can say. Next up, we do have this Fernandez card. Now, this Fernandez card for me, him being 6 foot, a 4-star, he has to go up there. He has to. There's no way this card is not an A tier player. The only problem about this card is linking him. There's no other way. There's no other way you can say this card is bad. He can literally do it going forward. He can do it going backwards. He is amazing on the ball. He puts in the tackles. He's got the physical stats. Passing, shooting, pace, everything is there. As I said, the only problem, linking him. Next up, we do have Gabriel. Now, this Gabriel card, he's no joke. He is no joke. He puts in a tackle perfectly. Physical stats, defensive stats. He does feel half decent on the ball. I wouldn't say he feels amazing on the ball, but I tell you what, he has an absolute complete CDM. Next up, we do have Gosens. Now, a lot of people slept on this card, right? And I do believe he's a League SBC, if I remember correctly. What a card. What a card. People actually thought this card was a left mid. That surprised me a little bit. Listen, he's got the interception reach. He's got amazing defensive stats. The physical stats are out of this world. He is an outstanding card, and he will be going into the B tier. Next up, we do have Gay. Now, this card still to this very day, I honestly love the card. He puts in the work. He carries players like there's no tomorrow. His standing tackles is one of the best I have seen. I could not believe how good this Gay card was when he actually came out, and for that reason, he is going to go into the A tier. Next up, we do have Gustavo, and for me, people still sleep on this card to this very day. I love it. This card is ridiculously good on the ball, standing tackling, pace, just how everything just comes together in a CDM role is beautiful, and Gustavo is definitely going to go up here. Next up, we do have Javert. Now, Javert is a questionable one, right? Because his foot birthday, I believe, is better, but not just that, a 6'2" cam, I feel like is never ever going to end well. Especially when you're playing the top tier players, top 100 players. Havertz is never really going to come out clutch in one of those games. So I am going to put Havertz in a B tier. And the reason he's not in the A tier is because 6'2" cams never really go well in this game. It's not the meta, let's just say that. Henderson, the card was absolutely broken when he came out. Everyone loved him. Everyone loved him. The way he would put in the tackles, the way he would just be so comfortable on the ball, composed on the ball. Not agile, but composed. But he is definitely a B tier player, not an A tier though. Next up, we do have Kimmage. Now, this Kimmage card, I would say would be an A tier player, right? But the only problem about this Kimmage card is his high-low work rates are so bad. You cannot play Kimmage in a centre mid position. Yeah, you can maybe play him CDM, but sometimes he will realise that he's got high-low work rates and all of a sudden bomb up the pitch for a counter-attack. And that's when you would get counter-attacked because there is a CDM missing. And for that reason, Kimmage is going to go into the B tier because he is an outstanding player. He puts in a really good tackle. He's got the pace, the dribbling, everything. Obviously, he hasn't got the interception reach or the strength, but the high-low work rate is definitely what kills this card. Next up, we have got Cava Church. Now, a lot of people sleep on this card. A lot of people. This card is a really nice card. He puts in the tackles. He's got the pace. He's got the dribbling. I must admit, he doesn't feel outstanding on the ball, but he's a very calm and composed player. So I am going to put him in the B tier. We are going to zoom out once right here. There you go. Next up, we do have Cruz. Now, Cruz for me, if I'm thinking about it, never really stood out to me. He was a player that was really good on the ball. He passed really well. Shooting was nice as well. And yeah, you can play him in a centre mid as CDM. There's no problem with that. Best position probably being centre mid. But the problem with him is his pace is never going to be, you know, out of this world. So I am going to put Cruz into the C tier. I don't want to disrespect him too much though. Next up, we do have Martinez. Now, Martinez, for me, is on the same level as Van de Beek. So I am going to put them right next to each other because why not? This card right here, if I remember correctly, he was an objective player. And a lot of people slept on this card because how good he was at tackling, his physical stats, his pace, his dribbling, his passing, everything was there. Everything. But still, to this very day, people slept on this card and didn't do that objective. If I remember correctly, he was an objective. It's you know, it's a shame, but he is definitely up there with Van de Beek. Next up, we do have Savage. Now, Savage was a card that I absolutely loved when doing the review. Loved. I could not explain how good this card was. But I did hear he actually got patched. And I was actually quite surprised that he got patched. Because how good he was, I would not... Like, if you guys haven't seen a review, go and watch it. Just type in Savage AuzioMF a play review. And it will instantly pop up. This card right here, I could not believe how good he was. Just going forward, amazing. Defensively, amazing. Do I believe he's on the level of Gustavo, Gay, Gabriel? When I reviewed him, 100%. But since then, he has been patched. And unfortunately, EA patched him. And he will be going into the B tier. Next up, we do have Mohr. Now, Muller's actually not a terrible card. But for me, I don't believe he's top tier still. Like, this is probably the best Mohr team of the season card that we have got in a very, very long time. Because Muller's never really been one of those players that you think to yourself, boom, he's going in my team instantly. No. He's been one of those players where if he gets a big upgrade, yeah, he could sneak into a few teams, but not all teams. Now, he's a good card, but I would not say he's on the level of like Henderson, Fernandinho, Fekir, Dembele, Martinez. You know, with some of those players, they just click in my brain somehow. But Mohr, not really. Next up, we do have 9 golden. If this card actually had like a bigger reach, like if he had like a 6'1" reach, oh my god, he would definitely be going up there. But he can do everything apart from intercept the ball perfectly. Literally, pace, he puts in amazing tackle, physical stats are good, passing stats are good, shooting is out of this world, but it's only the reach which is obviously, you know, slowing him down a little bit. Next up, we do have Ndidi. Now, this card is absolutely broken. I believe Ndidi and Gay, exactly the same player. The fact that he can literally go forward, but not just that, be absolutely outstanding at like going backwards. It's out of this world. It honestly is. Their standing tackles are really, really good. I love the way they're so aggressive towards the player, which makes them panic and obviously, you know, pushes your opponent into mistakes, which is like, I would say the best thing about these two is definitely aggression. Now, next up, we do have Nkunku. Now, this card, when it came out, wasn't actually too bad, right? But if we're looking at it now, I definitely would not say he is better than like Brandt, Cazorla, Cruz, and all of those a lot. So I am going to put Nkunku down here. I remember when I did this review, I actually played him in a cam role when I was meant to play him in a centre mid role. But I did like him in a cam role. He wasn't too bad. But if we're being real, 3-star weak foot is never going to end well. Next up, we do have Paulinho. Now, Paulinho, for me, he's definitely an A tier player, without a doubt. The card's an absolute joke. The interception reach, the defensive stats, the physical stats, the dribbling, pace, shooting. If you get the shot, why not? Passing ability is out of this world as well. This guy can pretty much do it all. And I believe he had an absolutely insane card last year. I think it was as well. And I could not believe how broken it was. Next up, we do have Phillips. Now, when this card came out, he was a joke. He was an absolute joke. He was definitely an A tier player. But since then, there have been an absolutely amazing, you know, amount of players like Gay, 9 golden, Gustavo, and Ndidi that have like kind of made Phillips go, I would say, under the cover a little bit. People kind of forgot about him. Even though he's still a really good card and puts in a really, really good tackle, I didn't really like how he felt on the ball. He was too clunky. He didn't really, you know, touch the ball too well. So I am going to put him to the B tier. Next up, we do have Sabitzer. Now, this card, people don't sleep on it. Please don't sleep on it. My God. I cannot believe how good this card was. Like, putting in the tackles, passing-wise, yeah, he can shoot. He's never going to get that shooting opportunity because he's probably playing CDM for you. But he can still do it. If it bounces to him, why not? And that's the one thing I love about CDMs. If they get the opportunity to shoot, they will actually bang it into the back of the net. But yeah, Sabitzer, I don't believe he's an A tier player, but he's definitely a B tier player. Sale. I actually enjoyed this card when it came out. But if we're being real with each other, I don't believe Sale deserves to go anywhere near this B tier. Like, these players right here, they could potentially squeeze it into B tier. Honestly, every single one of these players could squeeze into B tier. But if I'm being real, Sale, he has no chance. Even though he feels amazing on the ball, nah, let's all be real with each other. Next up, we do have Sanchez. Now, Sanchez, for me, he is definitely going to go up here. My God, is this card good. He puts in the tackles. He's got the aggression. He's got the dribbling, the shooting, the passing, the pace. There's not much you can go wrong with this Sanchez card. He does everything. He literally does everything. Perfect going forward, perfect at defending. Definitely one of the best midfielders in the game. Next up, we do have, I believe it's Savannah. I believe is how you pronounce it. He's a good card, and I definitely wouldn't disrespect him too much. I believe him and Sabitzer are pretty much on the same level. And I do believe he is better than Cazorla. He's got amazing stats. That is something I can say. He's got amazing stats. And I actually have used this card in-game. And he did do the work. But do I believe he deserves the A tier? Nah, never. Thiago. Now, Thiago, for me, he's a good card. Not outstanding, but he is a good card. And Thiago is definitely going to go in the C tier. He's got that 5-star skill moves, which pretty much makes him, right? But if we're being real, he's a dribbler and passer. He's never going to be one of those players that bangs in a goal from God knows how far. The pace is really slacking. The physical stats, defensive stats, he is definitely not a centre mid or CDM. He is a cam. And if I'm being real with you guys, I would rather play Javert. I would rather play this guy at cam. I would rather play every single one of these, even though like Gay and Ndidi hasn't got nowhere near the attacking stats that probably Thiago has. I would still prefer them at cam rather than Thiago. It's just the 5-star skill moves, the dribbling and the passing that really makes this card. But this is going to be it for the team of season tier list. Looking like a pretty decent tier list, that is something I can say. Now we are going to go through it one more time just to make sure that I've got everything perfect for me. We got De Jong, Sanchez, De Bruyne, definitely they're going to be up there. Our Cuttino, Fernandez, Gabriel, Gay, Ndidi, Gustavo, and N9 Goal and Paulinho. None of these players deserve to move down. You got Anselmo, Augusto, De Beek. You got Martinez, Dembele, Fekir, Fernandinho, Gosens, Javert, Henderson, Kimmage, Kovacic, Savic, Phillips, Sabitzer, and Savannah. I believe that's perfect. I don't believe any of these cards deserve to be moved down. I believe all of these cards are definitely on a B tier level. Now, this is what probably everyone is looking at, right? You could argue Luis Alberto because he's got amazing stats. But for me personally, I don't believe you should be playing him in a cam. Even though he's got cam stats, you know, he's a bit too big. You got Brandt, which is a really good card as well. Maybe I could move Brandt up there. But I believe Fekir, you can't put Brandt on the same level with Fekir. Come on now. You got Cazorla that could potentially move up. I don't see this Cazorla card being too bad. He really isn't. It's just what throws me off him is definitely that bulky body. It's just nothing really clicks with me with him. Now, we got Cruz, Muller, Thiago. I believe they don't deserve to be up. Casemiro could be potentially moved into C, because if you think about it now, does Casemiro really deserve to be on Nkunku and Sayul's level? Not really. But I believe it's just his pace and his dribbling is never going to be outstanding. And that's like the biggest disappointment about Casemiro. Because if he did have that pace and he did have those dribbling stats, he would definitely be in the B tier list. But I don't think I can move him up. I really don't. But that is going to be it for the team of season midfielder tier list. It's looking pretty decent. But if you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, leave a comment. And for now, peace.